Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've uploaded on this channel, but I kind of have an issue with staying motivated and um follow through with some things, but I don't want to abandon this channel at all. Not that it's a super popular thing or it's ever going to be a very popular channel, but I feel like this is a place where I can find like-minded people, you know, where we can support each other like a support system because we all need one, you know. So the title of this video is gonna be Day One Sober, and it's kind of embarrassing for me to sit here and do this, but you know they say that the first step towards solving a problem is admitting you have the problem in the first place, and I'm sitting here humbly just admitting it. I do have I have a drinking problem. It feels manageable right now, but I feel like if I don't do this now, it will snowball into a very severe drinking problem. The kind of drinking issue where I might have like physical withdrawals, you know. Right now, I don't really do the whole drinking liquor or anything like that, and I mostly just drink beer. But it's gone to the point where it's like every other. I've improved. Before, I would drink almost a six pack every day, and then that was turning into a 12 pack of the natural lights. And that's when I started hitting that, and I didn't do it long, but I started hitting that for a couple of days, and I'm like, this is gonna get out of hand. And on top of that, it's very hard to lose weight when you're constantly drinking beer just because of the fact that you're drinking so many calories. Um, and when I drink beer, I don't know how other people are. When I drink, it lowers my inhibitions and my self control. And then I'll be like six beers in, and I'll be like, you know what sounds good right now? A bacon sandwich with egg, bacon, cheese. And it does sound good. To be honest, it is delicious, but not very good when you're trying to lose weight. You know, I try to give myself some leeway, some grace, because I don't weigh like 700 pounds, and I feel like for me the eating problem I feel used to be my biggest issue, but these days it feels a lot more manageable. Like I feel way more in control, which I count that as a win for me because I used to have a binge eating issue. And over years, I kind of just worked at it, and now I'm good. Even last night, see, this is what kind of prompted me to make this video. Last night, I did my version of binge drinking. You know, other people, I know for other people when they binge drink, it's like they drank two bottles of liquor or like a 12 pack and then bought another 12 pack or something. For me, I drank three tall cans of Michelob Ultra, and this is where it gets shameful for me. I have roommates. I went into the freezer and they had tequila, a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'll take a little bit of tequila and mix it with some Coke, some Diet Coke, and then I went back and finished the whole thing. It was like probably 3 or 4 shots worth of liquor, but they're gonna notice. They will notice. Um, I'm moving in 2 weeks, so maybe they won't be mad at me for too long because they know they're gonna be rid of me soon. But back to the drinking, to the topic of the video. Um, I think this channel is supposed to be like a memoir channel where I tell you guys stories of my life, basically just get things off my chest. But I feel like I could also just use it as like as a daily sobriety journal because I'm doing that here anyway. I just started today, you know, like I'm in that mode where the day after you drink, you feel a little bit of shame. You tell yourself, never again. I'm never gonna drink ever again. I want to stay there. I don't want to say that, and then 3 days pass, and I'm like, you know what? It's Friday. It's my day off. I've had a good day. Let's celebrate. I'm gonna have a beer. I don't want to do that. And I think putting this online is gonna keep me accountable. along with losing weight, even today, like I drank yesterday and I obliterated a lot of calories. So today I'm gonna fast. Not completely. I'm gonna eat like maybe the equivalent of one sandwich today until tomorrow. Because let me see, I have it in my calorie app. I use lose it. So today, if I do this fast, and I just gotta last until midnight, I'll have a little snack at midnight. It's just more like to kind of keep the calories on schedule, I guess. I should be on track to have 1976 calories in total today. So around 2000, 2100, give or take. So see, 1976, around there. You can see kind of my desktop a little bit. So that I think I can do. The drinking, I know I can stop drinking, but it's more like there's so much society, like you don't notice how normal it is for people to just drink all the time. You watch Twitch and people are drinking. You watch YouTube, people are drinking. You go out in the world and people like talk about drinking. It's kind of like a very social thing, and I don't. I want to be um what's the way to put it? I guess strong enough, disciplined enough, in control enough, even when I'm in a good mood, to say I don't drink anymore. I'm just gonna keep saying that, even if it feels wrong. I'm gonna keep saying that until it just becomes my identity. Because I didn't used to be a drinker. I started drinking when I moved out of my parents' house at 29, you know? And at first, I just kind of drank just because, like, this is what adults do. They drink, And then it was innocent at first, but after a while, it just becomes a little normalized. And before you know it, every other day you're hungover. Like, being hungover is not fun. I feel like if I just keep drinking, I'm not gonna live past 40. I'm 33 now. I don't think I'm gonna live past 40. And again, maybe there's other people out there looking at me now and kind of like laughing and saying to themselves like, that's nothing. you feel bad because you drank a six pack and some shots. That's nothing. You should see me. I put away a case of beer every day, 12 beers. Like, you know what? Fair enough. I just don't want to get to that point because I feel like if I get to that point, there's just like no turning back. I have to go to rehab or something, and I don't want to get to that point. Right now, I can stop drinking. I think the longest the last time I went sober was like 8 months. And I'll tell you the truth, once you kind of get that ball rolling, it just becomes normal. Now it just turns into just don't drink anymore. Because you don't have the cravings. The cravings are gone. But of course, there's always relapse, and I don't want to relapse. I did, at my skinniest, I was sober. I weighed 157. Right now, I weigh like 190. I'm too afraid to weigh myself. I'm gonna weigh myself March. I'm gonna stay on track with my diet. It's a very mild diet, but I do a lot more exercise now. And that's another thing. I want to stay accountable for losing weight. I don't want. So that's kind of like, I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's kind of why I did this channel. In the hopes that I can actually follow through on some of my goals and not kind of lose steam at some point. And just because I tend to have a very like screw it attitude. Like, screw it. It's good enough, I don't want to do that. Not with this. This is important. This is when it comes to matters of your health, it's important. I don't know if any out there. I don't even know if people are watching right now. I don't really have an audience. People don't really watch my channel. But if anybody does find it at some point, or if this video does get views, give me some advice. I want to know, like, if you've ever quit drinking, how'd you do it? How bad did you start, and how did you stay sober? Because I kind of need that motivation. I like hearing stories of people that are like, yeah, I used to drink all the time. I used to put away a bottle of liquor or something, and now I've been clean for 3 years straight. Like, this is how I do it. Like, I want to know, how do you do it? For me, I think that when I'm at my weakest is when it's like, I'm happy with my family or something. Like, they're not drinking anymore either. They plan to drink here and there. I just don't even want to do it anymore. But for me, that's the weakest when it's like, one beer is not gonna hurt. One beer is gonna hurt. At least for me, it will. Um, but yeah, the drinking. This is day one, and I think I'm gonna come every day, even if it's not on this desktop. Like again, I can't afford this apartment no more. It has nothing to do with the drinking. It's just I have a job. I have a different job, and I don't make enough money, so I'm gonna be crashing at my sister's place until I can get back on my feet. It's fine though. I'm just down on my luck, but at least I have family to fall back on. I plan to do the van life thing for a bit because on top of that, it's like I have no motivation to go back to a job that would let me keep this apartment. Not, at least not right now. Like like truck driving. Truck driving, good money, but bad for your health. I feel like if I go back into trucking, I'm gonna start gaining weight, and it's gonna kind of make it difficult for me to like stay sober. Because like that's kind of like where I kind of fell into a pattern of go to work, put in 12, 14 hours or whatever, 10 hours, and then after work, because it's been a long day, stop by the gas station or the liquor store or 7-Eleven or something and buy like a case of beer. I feel like if I go back to that, I'm gonna fall back on my old habits, and on top of that, I'm just kind of tired of doing it. You know, and I've always wanted to try the van life thing. So for me, it's kind of like maybe this is a good opportunity. You know, save money, buy a nice little like Dodge Ram van, fix it up, and then just kind of live in it. Live with my sister, live in it. On my days off, go off into the beach or go hunting or do something. You know, that's kind of like where my life is heading right now. Um, I think that's everything I want to talk about. I don't want to ramble and ramble. I don't. Is there anything? Is there anything else I want to talk about? Uh, I talked about wanting to get sober. I talked about wanting to lose weight. I guess I could talk about weight loss and my struggles with eating and my relationship with food. Um, I used to be a heavy binge eater. Before I was drinking, I was just addicted to food. Like the for the day, food was like the fun. It wasn't my happiness kind of revolved around food. But that was also when I was at my most depressed and my most isolated. You know, I live with my mom still and all that, but it's I moved out and I was still addicted to food. I think I kind of overshadowed that addiction with alcohol. So ironically, my addiction to food became way more manageable, and my addiction to alcohol went like that. So they kind of did they kind of went like this, but I wanted to be like here. I guess what I think my new strategy for coping with stress is I'm just gonna have a cup of decaffeinated coffee of decaf. I thought about regular coffee, but all that caffeine is probably not good for you. So I think like after a hard day at work, I can make myself a nice tall glass of decaffeinated coffee and just like sip on it. I think I need something like that. Kind of like how like smokers chew gum or something. I think I need a crutch. The more harmless the crutch is, the better for me. I don't want to fall back on food, obviously. I don't want to fall back on alcohol, obviously, and I don't want to pick up smoking or smoke or weed or anything like that. So I'm like, maybe just a nice cup of coffee. That sounds reasonable. Um, I thought about video games, but I'm not really addicted to video games like I was when I was a kid or when I was younger. I can't really get into it. You know, I'll play like Victoria 3 for a couple hours and then like I'm kind of good. Or I'll just like I've tried booting up other games. I tried playing what is it, Minute of Islands, I think it's called. Uh is it what it's called? Let me check. Let me see. Is it Minute of Islands? Islands. Let's check Steam. Yeah, Minute of Islands. I bought that game a couple years ago, and then I was bored, and I was like, "Let's play this game." And then like I turned it off after like, let me see, 20 minutes. I think a younger version of myself would have loved this game. You know, the graphics kind of remind me of Adventure Time a little bit. Here, let me show you. Why am I even... Windows capture? Display capture? Why isn't it showing? Oh, yes. What if I put it all the way up here? There it is. That's the one I was talking about. Minute of Islands. Yeah, you can see my Steam library. Yeah, I have a bunch of games here I haven't really played. I liked Megabonk a little bit. I played Manor Lords, but you know, I got bored of it eventually. Marvel Rivals was pretty fun, but I'm not really in the mood to get back into it. Littlewood, and then these games, like this game I would have loved back then. I played it for 35 minutes like 6 years ago. It's a good game, but you know, yeah. See, I feel like I force myself to play games if I'm, you know, if I'm trying to find some other way to cope. So I think just the coffee thing. Oh, maybe just the coffee, the decaf coffee. My diet plan is pretty simple right now. It's pretty. I feel it's very sustainable. Like I limit my calories down to like 1750 a day, and then Monday and Friday. I'm sorry, Monday and Friday, it goes up to 2100. So that's around like maintenance for me. And my sorry, and my new job. So that like the calories kind of average out to 1850 a day. I think that, and then my new job has me walking a lot. I work. I'm a security guard now. You know, so I walk a lot now, and I do like maybe 10,000 steps a shift. So if I do 3 or 4 days of working, what? Oh, 3 or 4 days of working, I burn like 1,000 calories that week, and that's already like 1,000 times 4 is 4,000. 3,500 is calories is 1 pound, so I've already burnt 1 pound away just doing my job, you know. And then with the calorie deficit, it's probably closer to 2 or 3 pounds a month. I think after a year, it's like 36 pounds, you know. So it's just doing that and being patient and being consistent. I'm doing better. Like last night, obviously, I kind of binged a little bit, but I think I can fast the rest of the day, catch up, and then tomorrow get back on the 1750, and then hit the gym when I'm, you know, right now I'm waiting for payday, so I don't have money for gas, and I need to go to work one more time, so because I'm trying to do at least 3 or 4 days a week at work. Um, that's mostly just for me. I'm kind of burnt out from working too. I'm all kinds of a mess right now. But emotionally, I feel very healthy. I just need to, you know, reel in this drinking issue. This seems to be the biggest one. I think that's it. I don't want to keep rambling. I've talked about my diet. I've updated about my, you know, again, this is my first day of being sober, and I want to stay accountable to someone. I feel like what I'm doing here is very, it makes it more real, right? Not because I'm not just saying it to myself. Like now I have an audience that can watch me and say, hey, you know, keep me accountable, you know, for goodness sake. And I think I can do it. This is just like an extra step of motivation. But if anybody has any tips on how you stay sober, or if you kind of want to join on this journey with me, let's do it together. You know, it's easier when there's a group of people that are like on the same page. Like, hey, I'm not drinking anymore either. It's like nice to have a support system. I think that's everything I want to talk about. Yeah, moving out, starting life all over again. Down on my luck. Eating, I'm doing better with the eating. You know, I'm not I'm not perfect, but I think this year I will lose weight. I'm not gonna say I think I will lose weight this year. I know I will lose weight this year. I'm just getting, it's about shading more good days than bad days. And the bad days need to be very, very controlled. And I'm getting very good at that now. So I'm going to continue with that. And hopefully over time, as I make these video diaries, you'll see the results on my face and on my stomach and everything. And then I hope that translates to like, I see differences on my scale. I'll share that with you guys. But that's it. That's all. If I just keep going, I will ramble. So I guess I'll just cut it off here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do this daily because it's a sobriety journal. Day 1, day 2, day 3. If I skip it, it happens. But I'm gonna strive to do this every day, even if it's on my phone or my laptop. So peace out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And let's shut this off.